You're listening to the Sales Center podcast. My name is Mark Hunter. And hey, how and when should you ask for a referral? The easiest way to grow your sales is with referrals, but sadly, too few salespeople really understand how and when the mechanics of asking for a referral. That's the topic of today's episode, and it begins right now.
You're listening to the Sales Hunter podcast with Mark Hunter, where the focus is to help you as a sales leader sell with confidence and integrity. And now here's your host.
It's a shame that we look past the value of referrals. Hey, I see it as really three reasons, and I'm going to unpack each one of these three. And I'm going to show you how to overcome each one. Number one, it's you don't know when and who to ask for a referral. Number two, you don't know how to ask for a referral. And number three, you're afraid of the response you're going to get, so you just hesitate in asking. And oh, by the way, at the end of this episode, I'm going to show you the secret sauce that's going to help you accelerate your referrals even more. Hey, this episode is sponsored by the How to Get a Meeting with Anyone Mastermind. It's where elite sellers learn audacious, proven strategies to land impossible meetings with their dream clients. It's led by Stu Heineck, Wall Street Journal cartoonist, and who AMA named the father of contact marketing. You can join now at getameetingmastermind.com. Spots are limited. Okay, first issue is we don't know how and who to ask for a referral. Let me tell you something. We think referrals can only be asked for from current customers. Wrong. We can ask for a referral from anyone who understands what it is that we do. That means there are probably vendors out there, there are peers out there, there are other people who we know, and we can ask them for a referral. Now, here's the whole situation. If you sit there and add those people to your circle, you've now got probably a 2, 3, 4x size of a referral pool. Now, remember, I'm going to show you the secret sauce at the end, so stick around. You see, here's the whole thing. We look too often that the only person we can ask is the customer right after they bought from us. False. And I also want you to keep this in mind that you can also ask a customer multiple times. You're going to ask a customer for a referral anytime, or anytime you deliver value to them, anytime. So you may help them. You may close a deal with them. Great, terrific. You're going to ask them for a referral. I'll show you how in just a second. But two, you may get to the 6-month anniversary of them working with you. You can ask them for a referral. The year, any point along the way, you can be asking them. Think about this. There's so many opportunities. What's interesting is you can even be asking past customers for referrals. Sure. And you can even ask customers who did not buy from you. Whoa, you sit there and say, hold it, I can't do that. Yes, you can. Here's what it's all about. Many times that customer that didn't buy from you, they didn't wind up doing anything. They did not wind up doing anything for one reason or another. But they're sold on you. They like you. You can ask them for a referrals. You see, here's the whole thing. Don't make asking for referrals a one and done event. A one and done where you only ask them right after they buy from you. In fact, right now, as we're recording this and you're listening to this in October, here's the prime time for referrals. It's coming up in the month of November. The month of November, I want you to call all of your existing customers, all your peers, anybody in your circle. And I want you to say, thank you for helping me to have a great year. We had a great year. Yeah, you're actually going to kind of rave on yourself. But you're going to say, hey, thank you for helping me. And I hope you had a great year too. And you know what's interesting? It's going to wind up generating a pretty powerful conversation. Now, reason I say to do it in November is because it's the end of the year. And we always send out holiday cards. We thank people for the year. We go through all these motions of looking back on the year. And I'm saying, make it as a phone call. Make it as a phone call. And what's interesting is that phone call is going to wind up turning into a conversation. And so many times what happens is that person you're talking to, hey, you know what? We need to talk right after the first of the year. There's some things we need to do, or there's some things now. You're going to wind up generating business from some of these people that you reach. But here's the kicker. You're going to be able to ask them for a referral. Okay, so that takes us to number 2. What is it that I say? The easiest thing that you can say is very simply, hey, it's been great seeing you achieve the results you've been able to achieve. It's been fantastic. Hey, who else do you know that might benefit from this? You see how I said that? It wasn't a structured sentence. I'm complimenting them on the success they've had. Now, you may change it around a little bit. You could say, hey, who else do you know who might benefit from the success that you've had of us working together? Think about that. That's so easy to say. What I want you to do is I want you to back up this audio by 30 seconds and listen to those again and check this out and practice a script. Who else do you know who might benefit from the success you've had? Wow. Now remember, I got a secret sauce technique for you coming up here in a bit. You see, what you're doing is you're getting into an absolute routine. And I want you to establish a goal every week of how many times you're going to ask for referrals. Yeah. I want you to establish a goal. I want you to say it's 3 or 5 or 6 or 7. But I don't care what it is, but I want you to ask. And what's interesting is you're going to get people who will refer you to others. Now, you can go one step further and say, hey, that's absolutely fantastic. Would you mind making an introduction for me? That's a very easy thing to ask. That's the bonus on top of the referral, because now what it is you're able to sit there and you leverage their relationship with that person to connect you. I do this all the time. I say, hey, would you mind connecting us? And the vast majority of the time, people say, fine. Now, let's go to number 3. Then I want to come back and tighten all this up and share with you the secret sauce. People are afraid to ask for referrals because they're afraid of hearing no. We're too hard on ourselves. Our customers love us much more than we realize. You sit there and say, well, I don't know if we really delivered the right service. I don't know if we did that. Hey, you know what? That's not for you to determine. That's for your customer to determine. And oh, by the way, you are your harshest critic. And oh, by the way, why is it that you're afraid to ask them for a referral, but you hear no from a customer who doesn't want to buy from you, from a prospect or whatever? I mean, it doesn't make sense. Does not make sense. You see, what I've found is this. I want to deepen relationships with existing customers, and asking for referrals is one of the ways to do that. Now, let's start getting into this secret sauce piece, because you may have customers that you've sold to. And what you do is you're asking them for referrals and you say, hey, how can I help you? Who's a perfect referral for you? You see what I'm doing now? I've flipped it around, or I should say I've added icing on the cake. And what I'm doing is I'm saying, hey, I'm asking you for referrals. And then I'm sitting there saying, hey, who's a perfect referral I can share with you? I was at an event the other day and met a couple of peers who I hadn't seen in a long time. And it was a question I asked for them. I asked them right off, and this is the secret sauce. I asked them, hey, we haven't talked in a long time. Who's your perfect type of customer? I want to be able to be ready to connect you with people who would be a good person for you to work with. And what happened is I did this 3 times at an event I was at. And each one of those times, the person said, hey, what about you? Who's a perfect customer for you? Who's the great referral? And what's very interesting is it automatically created a conversation. Now, I'm not sure where any of those go, but you put enough of those out there. It's like a farmer. You got to put enough seed in the ground to get a crop to grow. Now, the secret sauce is where I want you to set an objective each week. I have an objective each week where I give 3 unsolicited referrals every week. Every week, I give 3 unsolicited referrals. And I do the first one every Monday morning. And this is Monday morning right now, right? This Monday morning. And when I get done here, I'm going to give a referral. I know exactly who I'm going to do, who I'm going to connect with. And what I do is I do this by giving unsolicited referrals. In other words, I just say, hey, you need to meet, because I know what you have is going to benefit them because it's really worked for me, or something of that nature. It's a very casual. And I typically do this by way of email. Sometimes I do it by way of phone. Sometimes I do it in person. But like I said, I always want to do one Monday morning first thing. So that's always the email. Over the course of the week, it may come from a lunch, a breakfast, or something like that. But whatever. But here's what I do. By giving unsolicited referrals, it's amazing how the universe gives back to you. It's amazing. The universe gives back. Now, I never expect to give a referral with the expectation of receiving one in return. No, I never do. Because it's amazing. I've given referrals, dozens of referrals to some people that I've never gotten a referral from. But then I've gotten many referrals from others that I didn't realize, wow, they've just connected me. You see, if you want to get, you got to give. And what I find is the secret sauce is by giving first. I'm going to challenge you right now, today, as you're listening to this podcast. Ask yourself, who today can I refer to somebody unsolicited? And you pick up the phone, you call them or you email them, but you connect these people together. I want you to be very deliberate in doing that. I want you to get in that routine. You set yourself a goal of these are the referrals I'm going to be giving every week. And then you set a goal as to the number of times that you're going to ask for referrals. And you be absolutely deliberate. You be deliberate. You mark this in your CRM system, or you have an Excel spreadsheet or a checklist or something, but you count these numbers up. And I guarantee it, you maintain this process for any given period. We'll say you do maintain this process for 4 to 6 weeks. I guarantee it, after 6 weeks, you will be seeing results. And you're going to sit there and say, why wasn't I doing this before? I guarantee it. And remember, the secret is it's not just your current customers. It's vendors you've worked with. It's peers that you know. It's people that you know. It's other people that you know. Because what I have found is this. The majority of the referrals that I receive, kind of unsolicited, so to speak, come from my peers, come from vendors, come from other people who I haven't sold to, but they know me very well. Yeah. And I'm helping them. They're helping me. You see, a rising tide lifts all boats. I want you to go back and listen to my podcast regarding networking and the circles of networking, the 5, 25, 100, 1,000. And I want you to go back and listen to that, because in that 25 and that 100 circle, these are the people that are going to generate incredible sums of referrals for you. Hey, my name's Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. Each week I do 2 podcasts, one like this where we do a deep dive on a specific topic, Monday mornings to get you going for the week. Second one is where we do a subject matter expert, where we unpack a topic. Hey, the podcast is to help you see and achieve what you didn't think was possible. Hey, I'm coming out with a new book right after the first year. It's all around selling integrity. Integrity first selling. Look for it in January. I'm Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. Great selling.